Welcome to Lorehammer, episode 26, C'tan. Hello and welcome back to Lorehammer. My name is Eric. Joining me today is Jordan. Mark, I'm referring to your learning disability. Joining me today is Jordan. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And then Mark.
You ever wake up in the morning?
Yeah.
And you got this foul taste in your mouth?
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, Christian.
It's like 6 days of 7 in my week.
Because I woke up this morning with that taste in my mouth, and now I look to my right, and who do I see?
Christian.
I am the bad taste in your mouth, Christian.
You are the bad taste.
My name is Christian Bad Taste in Your Mouth. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
First time, last time.
Been away for too long.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Never again. But let's kick stuff off right away. Christian, today we are going to play a game called Pictionary, but with words.
And we know how much you like our games.
Yeah.
I hate them.
We know how much. Okay, but here's what we're going to do. You are going to pick something in 40K, anything, and you're going to describe it one word at a time. And after every word, we're going to have a chance to guess what it is, and we'll see who can guess it first.
One word at a time?
Yeah. So, like, if you were doing Necron, the first word you do is, like...
Necrodermis.
Well,
Pretty easy.
then it would be monolith or, like, whatever. But that's the whole point, is pick something and then describe it one word at a time and give us a chance to guess what it is.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready. I'm always ready. I was born ready.
All right. How often am I throwing words at you?
I don't know. I'll let you know if I have a guess or not.
Yeah, you say a word, we'll all get a guess, and then you say another word.
Yeah.
Okay. Eldar.
Striking
Howling
Scorpions.
Batsheets.
Dang it. Mark's right.
No!
the first try.
What can I say?
Okay, you
I
know
know
what?
about prophecies.
All right, go again. But this time,
Okay.
Mark, you're going to guess first, so we're not shouting at over each
Okay.
other.
Okay.
Pick a different topic.
Okay. Imperial Guard.
Astra Militarum.
No.
Astral Path.
No.
Oh, I know exactly, but
All right.
say another word.
Tracks. What did you think it was?
Uh-oh.
I thought it was Ogrins because we were talking about...
Because you're on
Ogrins the other
Ogren
day.
kick.
But now it's a Torox.
Nope.
Lehman Russ.
Nope.
All right, another.
Rockets.
Manticore.
Okay, I screwed that one up. I was thinking of the Hydra flak tank, but yes. But Manticore is the alternative vehicle.
All right, okay. So what I've learned is that Mark's knowledge surpasses mine when it comes to Christian's mind.
Yes.
Not Warhammer. That was not an indication of Warhammer knowledge.
You guys got to do this with another guest and see how it goes if Mark still destroys you. Or
Oh, no.
I know everyone's mind very well.
I've been destroyed many times by Mark.
he studies people. He's a student of the mind.
Well, before we get into our topic today, we have a couple things to share, and that is we have new people contributing to our Patreon. That would be Marshall, Tim, and Jose.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for
Thanks,
contributing. We really appreciate it when people throw money at us. So
Or hand it to us politely like gentlemen.
Eric usually gets money on the poll, but
That's why he's
he
used
gets
to
money
the
thrown
throwing,
at him.
yeah.
We do not use it to buy explicit substances.
Just to clarify.
I mean,
Like plutonium, perhaps? Or,
activated uranium, maybe? Someone told me I couldn't build a nuclear reactor,
And
and
they were
now their
right.
house is gone. So.
It's not nice to joke about a horrible fire that happened, Eric, to that poor family.
guilty.
For our Patreon people, we have like our rewards or whatever, and we're going to be sending stuff out at the end of this month, and then we'll keep doing it at the end of the month. So I know some of you have been contributing for a while, and
You've been waiting for stuff. It's all coming.
just know we're just trying to get everything like kind of set up and organized, but it is happening. We haven't forgot about you.
Don't worry.
Except for you, Tony. We totally forgot about you.
Ooh,
Intentional,
I was hoping that we weren't going to say anything, but that's okay. Okay. We also had, it was actually just today that a guy named Matt, who has been chatting with us for a little bit now. He's a pretty cool guy. Lives in
Nice
the
that
UK.
you just lump yourself into mine and his conversation. Chatting to us. No, he was chatting to me.
All right, well,
I'm the one who put in the time.
He's chatting to Lorehammer, of which I am an equal partner. So, but yeah, he's created an alien model.
Yeah, so the Thyrus, they're that like squid race that is all about the performance and like colorful and like the tentacly squiddy beast with a shell. And yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he created one of those and he posted his finished product of it, and it's pretty cool. It's
On
pretty
our
cool.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So if you're interested to see what someone's representation of that is,
Yeah.
check out our page, Lorehammer.
And if you have your own, which probably not, but maybe.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
a
you
pretty
were so-
obscure minor race.
Yeah,
but
maybe you were so enthralled by our description of them that you created your own.
A whole army.
there you go again. It's not our description. Games Workshop owns all the content. You're not a part of
But we
Warhammer, my
describe-
conversations, or Games Workshop.
I have nothing.
Eric, yes, there you go. Stop
nothing.
lumping yourself into other
no, he's
people's
having an
accomplishments.
existential
Oh, God.
crisis.
And then I just have one more thing before we get into the meat, and that is Mark's new friends in Calgary.
I've made some.
Yeah.
I was wandering down the street and I seen a puppy.
Oh,
And I pet him and I took him home.
It was
and he's
good.
my new friend.
Did you check the collar on there? Was there a name?
there was.
Yeah, some
I
cruel
checked
owner
it.
tied him up outside the store, so I just took him.
No, we've been hanging out with a couple people from Calgary, and it's been pretty fun. We hung out and went for wings last night with Colin. Seems like a pretty cool guy.
For now, we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah, we'll see if he robs me if I get home like and all my stuff's missing.
Yeah.
Then we'll know if he's a cool guy.
It's
or
funny
not.
because we joked about like robbing him,
Yeah,
but
but that
he's
was
going to turn the tables. That's
the difference is
twist.
the joke, though. Like
It's a twist.
I wasn't joking about robbing him.
Right, and now he's not joking about getting his revenge.
But should he still be your friend if you rob him?
Yes,
Friends
yeah,
rob each
absolutely.
other all the time.
Yeah,
But you
how
don't know if
you're
Feeling from
friends.
Mark for
If
years.
he's not a cool guy if he robs you.
No,
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm a cool guy, but we can still be friends,
Oh, okay.
right?
That's how you know it's true friendship.
Yes, when you're friends with somebody who you hate.
Wait, don't look at me and say that. That's hurtful.
But yeah, if you also are in Calgary, send us a message. We'll go for a drinks or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
literally-
I've been told people like to go and drink alcohol together.
It's
That is
fun.
a thing humans do, yes,
Yes.
Mark.
I have observed it, but I have never done it.
I've never partaken.
I prefer cocaine, but whatever floats your boat.
Or floats your float, as Jordan. He's probably on a float. when he
Helium.
does it.
Helium floats it. Did you know?
Fun fact about helium:
Don't steal
we're
my fun
in the
facts.
middle of a helium shortage crisis.
I've been told.
I prefer the word crisis.
Crisis.
Become a crisis now. The government must get involved immediately.
We need a 32 step plan implemented by the Canadian federal government of how they're going to lower and reduce their helium usage. We're going to make it, but
need-
not at the Paris Accords though.
Yeah.
It's going to be the. Let's pick some
Inuit Accords.
No, let's pick some crazy place in the middle of nowhere that no one cares about.
Isn't what I just said?
No,
Oh, okay.
like a town, like Edmonton.
North Battleford.
The North Battleford Accords, where everyone makes outlandish promises about how they're going to reduce their helium usage. Then they all shake
And then
hands,
no one
go
follows
home.
their-
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
As long as the
And then they
first-
go home on their airships.
This has nothing to do with how I feel about the Paris
Used
Accords at
used by
all.
helium.
Well,
And they have their birthday parties with balloons.
how dare they? I bet it's first grade helium in those balloons too. Unbelievable. Sourced from some anyways.
some ground.
I don't
That's where
know.
helium comes from, right? The ground.
Well, where else would it come from?
The air.
I mean, you're not wrong. Okay. Let's dig right into this. Today we are talking about the C'tan, or the C'tan, or the C'tan, or however you want to
I
say.
think you're pronouncing it very wrong.
How do you pronounce it, Mark?
I would call them my benevolent overlords.
Our fearless leaders,
That's how I would
oh
pronounce it.
wise and sagacious masters.
Jesus.
Sagacious? How would you say it?
I would not say
I don't
that
even
word
know what
ever.
word you're using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a word.
It definitely is a word. How do you pronounce them, Christian?
C'tan. C'tan.
I always thought it was C'tan.
The C'tan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the apostrophe? Is that what makes a C a soft C?
Well, it's not English, so I have no idea.
Touche.
Good point.
Touche.
My alien languages dictionary says it's
My C'tan lexicon. No.
I use C'tan regardless of what you say.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip flop between the two of them this entire.
You're just gonna experiment
episode.
and see which one you like more.
Depending on context, you use one or the other.
What I need is someone to count how many times I say one more or the other, and then message me and be like, "Hey, you said C'tan this many times and C'tan this many times, and whichever one I said more, that's the correct one."
If you do this, I will give you something.
Mark, nobody
Start
wants
counting.
your no.
Start
Nobody wants
counting.
your crude sexual.
Do they have to
hands.
start counting from like? Do they have to rewind and start?
Yeah, oh
Yes,
yeah, they
from
do.
the
Before.
beginning.
Yeah.
Of course.
But if you send me
It's
a message,
retroactive. Yes.
okay.
All right, so let's get right into it. The C'tan. They were the very first intelligent beings in the galaxy, created the very moment that the galaxy exploded into existence. Close your eyes, young one.
I can see it now.
Hearken to the story.
It's so
The
beautiful.
Milky Way.
Wow. Ooh, so many colors. Okay.
All right. Now that we've got that out of our system,
Yeah, they're the oldest beings, like created during the Big Bang, apparently.
Are they even older than the old ones?
Yeah.
oh yes,
Yeah. So, wait.
Are they the old ones? No, they're the older ones. No, they're the oldest ones.
Oh my god!
Wow. Wow. This is crazy.
Oldest, but the thing is, they never really existed in the galaxy as we exist in the galaxy, or as the old ones existed, because they didn't have real bodies.
Magical energy.
They
Yeah.
consisted of nothing more than just energy, like shoved together in a span that had a consciousness.
Yeah.
But it was such a weird and alien consciousness that, like, even like the old ones never even mentioned them. Like it seems
Yeah.
that no one knew about them until the Necrontyr
Yeah.
discovered them. So even though they existed forever and they were these such massive beings of powerful energy, they just were so foreign that we couldn't even comprehend what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I like to think of it as like an ant and a human. Like an ant doesn't comprehend.
Yeah, they have no
human
understanding of
Yeah.
what we are.
and what's going
Or,
on. And
or even like think of it more like an ecosystem, because an ecosystem like happens around us all the time. Like
Yeah.
we're in it and we're like we affect it, but honestly, I have no idea like how one little thing is going to affect
Man
it.
can build
right?
nuclear
I know I was about to
bombs,
say
but
that he has no understanding of nature.
Well,
He's
The trees they just grow.
the science is simple,
I don't understand.
really. But that's what more I view it as, because the ecosystem has no will, and like a star like the C'tan, their only will was just feed and grow and survive.
I think that's part of the thing that's beyond our understanding is like, how can you comprehend a mind that's as old as them, right? Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
By the time they even registered the existence of like other beings like the Necrontyr, they'd already been millions of years old, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
trillions. Of,
Yeah,
right?
and like and they're
bazillions even.
in a way that
gazillions.
Millions.
Googleplex.
they yeah, so they almost like don't it's almost incomprehensible to
It's
us.
and it's a two-way thing. Like they don't understand us as much as we didn't understand them.
No, like they don't even care. Like they take no
That's the thing.
notice
The
of
same
us.
way
Like,
you don't care about ants, right?
well,
You step on them.
but I still am aware of an ant though. They're described as not even being aware of anything in the materium.
Anything
Yet.
other than
Yet.
the electromagnetic flows of like the deeper energies of the universe.
Yeah.
Like that's what they were aware of, because that's what sustained them.
Yeah, and the other thing too is they run on such like a primitive level. Is like, you know, they function just like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go.
I'm not sure. Well, I don't know exactly when
They never build a
gain-
society. And
No,
they never,
yeah, they
they
don't.
never go beyond their basic primitive instincts. Eventually, they do once they discover.
You know, I'm not entirely certain about that, but I
sentience.
think it's better to go back to that at a later point in time when we actually talk about the different C'tan. So these beings would latch onto like a star's energy and just consume it. and suck it in.
Photosynthesis, right?
I don't
No.
think
I thought we were talking about the economy. No, the ecology. No, what are we talking
the
about?
economy of
What,
Stardust.
ecosystems. I thought we were talking about ecosystems.
So they would
photosynthesis.
they latch onto these stars and they just absorb and feed on the energy of the star.
Yeah.
Over thousands of years.
Oh, millions of years,
Yeah.
right? And it's such a minute thing that no one even noticed what was happening to these stars ever. Even though, like,
so bright, tasty, yeah,
That's exactly what their thought process is like.
Come on, Charlie. But eventually, it's described that they were able to find and travel from star to star in order to feed and change like what they were eating because they would have tasted differently, I guess. Like, are you a new star
Stars have
or an
different
old
compositions,
star?
yeah.
Yeah.
black stars are the best. Yes.
It's described.
I hope that I ruined C'tan for you, Eric.
No, it's impossible. I like
So
to think
warm,
that that's the deceiver's voice.
That's all of C'tan's voice.
That's all of them.
Yeah.
You guys want to get some new bodies?
So soft.
So supple. Eventually, but the way they were able to go from star to star is they created these diaphanous. I don't know how to pronounce it, but these like
Diaphanous.
they created like these wings of like they just because all they are is energy.
Yeah.
So they would just extend their energy out to these wings to push them forward, and they would follow like the energy currents of the universe until they reached like a new star, and then they would latch onto that one and start
and
eating its energy.
What's crazy too about them is they're described to surround the entire star.
Yes, they're not as small. Like they are
they're huge.
absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Their consciousness itself is bigger than a planet.
How can one measure consciousness?
I don't know.
Eric.
I don't know. All I know is that's what I read.
I love that he's scratching his head.
I don't know. I don't
He
know.
looks like a,
Look, I don't get it, and that's the whole point. You don't get it.
it's like a
So
Lovecraftian horror, cosmic
exactly.
horror. Yeah.
You can't even begin to know what you don't know. And that's where they were for millions and billions of years.
Yeah, just feasting on stars, floating around.
Moving from star to star, energy
Yeah.
to energy, just trying to get the best tasting stars possible.
I'm pretty similar to that actually. Like just instead of
you go
stars,
from person to person.
No, McDonald's.
Wandering
From
forever.
McDonald's, 400 pounds, Eric. By the end of the year, 400 pounds.
You're a long way from your goal.
I'll get there. Don't you worry.
And this is where we enter the Necrontyr. So you get these guys. At this point, you should know the story of the Necrontyr. We have 2 episodes one on the Necrontyr and one on the Necron. War in Heaven is going to be our original Necron one. But short story, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, can't talk.
It's okay, Eric.
All right. So the Necrontyr, their original planet had a really bad star. It constantly shoved radiation at the Necrontyr. It stunted their lives. They had a miserable existence.
Very short-lived.
Very short-lived, but full of also like disease and pain. And their Necrontyr worlds were described as tombs, and the living people were nothing more than transients waiting to enter these just crypts.
Yeah.
And
Life is just waiting for death.
exactly. They had no purpose beyond that.
So I have a quick question, just real quick here. Do you think that the C'tan were consuming their star and that's why it was so unstable?
Yes, I am fully of that opinion
Yeah.
because that is their star. So the war in heaven happens with the old ones. The old ones like brush them off like a flea, right? They're
Yeah.
no business, and they get shoved back to their home world, and it's on like the fringe of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And so now they're free to do whatever they want because they're inconsequential to the old ones.
Yeah.
So they start studying their own star. And this is the very first time they notice something is weird.
Yeah, they discover
And they
it.
discover the very first C'tan on their star.
Yeah.
And when you think about time as a C'tan, like he might have been on that star for millions of years,
Yeah.
and it's not even registering
even
for
before
him.
the Necrontyr
Existed. Yeah, he's just been feeding on it the whole time.
So in a way, they're almost the ones to blame for the Necrontyrs.
Like there's nothing confirming that
Yeah.
it's the reason, but it totally fits.
yeah.
Don't look at me. I'm not a scientist.
I know,
don't.
yeah.
I don't know how stars work, Eric.
We were like, I was like, yeah, that's the reason. Mark's like, you're not a scientist, don't know that. And I'm like,
I don't know. No,
But-
it would.
It makes
probably,
sense, even
Yeah.
though it's not explicitly stated.
Yeah. And it's not even like you can't even really blame it on the C'tan. Like I could see some people being like, oh, is there like it's his goal from the beginning to like get this
I don't
race
think
to
so.
I
Yeah.
don't think so either. It's too uncaring about the world
Yeah.
to notice that.
Well, it was the Necrontyr that devised a way to communicate with them to begin with. It's not like the
Yes.
C'tan were looking for a way to communicate
so
with them.
and this crazy thing. So the Cesaric at this point is the Silent King of the Necrontyr, and at this point they've fallen into their war of secession again because they previously had the old ones as like their binding enemy, and the old ones pushed them back to being nothing. So now they're infighting again, and Cesaric is like, at this point, he's doing anything he can. So he gives the go ahead to his scientists to contact this, try and contact this being, and we have no idea how they do it.
Yeah.
Like even in the
It could be like pulses of energy. It could be
in the description, it's right. Like even the AdMech of today, like have no idea how they
managed it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those things.
Hey, you!
Stop beating on! Get off my lawn!
Yeah.
It's just they're with like loudspeaker just at the star.
Yeah.
But so they make contact with this being, and that's when they first give it the name C'tan, which means star vampire or star god. So it's just this massive.
I'm just gonna jump in with a little historical nod. from
No,
the
I don't
Necron.
think you will.
Yes,
So
Egyptian themes, sun worship. That's it. That's all. Look it up. That's all I want to say.
Stay woke.
Wow, thanks, Christian.
Open your eyes, people.
You're able
The
to pick out.
Necrontyr are Egyptian.
Wow.
No, they're that.
There's a direct correlation.
it's
Even their
100%.
symbolism.
100%.
Next, you're gonna talk to me about how Ultramarines are actually Romans.
Well, they are.
Space.
Oh my god,
Mark,
and how Spaceballs
in
are like,
space.
oh my god, you guys are the worst.
That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
No, we'll come back to that. Where
No, we won't ever come back to that.
but
We won't say what the orcs were.
Now, I have seen the movie Bright,
Yes.
and from my understanding, they were supposed to represent orcs in a fantasy universe. From my understanding.
I'm not gonna lie, that movie was absolute trash.
It wasn't that good, yeah. I watched it with you guys.
Did we?
Yeah.
No, with me?
Yeah, with you. With you and Mark. Yeah.
So unremarkable, Jordan.
It was
so
like,
unremarkable.
I don't know if it was trash. It was pretty mediocre, though.
Yeah, it was not. There was nothing great about
It's
it.
definitely below Will Smith's talents, that's for sure.
Well, that's kind of where he is right now. Anyways,
That's kind of weird.
so the Necrontyr find this being. They name it a star god, a star vampire, and they are just completely in awe of like the size and the immensity, the power, like limitless power to them, because they're so used to being like the underdog, right? And so used to being the guy who's constantly stepped on and pushed down, and
Yeah, due
like
to the
Eric.
old ones.
yeah,
That's why he's a Necron player. He relates so well.
exactly.
Yeah.
I wish
crave the
someone
power I
had taken
never
my
had.
soul. So they're so in awe that they are already viewing them as like these crazy powerful beings, and then they start. I don't know exactly what happens here, but I was fiddling around with different words. Like, I don't know if the Necron bargain with the C'tan. I don't know if they offer up these bodies to the C'tan. All I know is that at some point they convince the C'tan on their star to enter the living metal body that they've created for it.
Of the Necrodermis.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't know if this is just my flawed memories or not, but somehow they enticed it through like experiences. Like in its energy form, it can experience things the same way as it can in like a physical body. I could, like I said, I could have vague memories of this.
I
so
wouldn't
could be
mind
wrong.
that, but I don't ever remember reading that as
Yeah.
a thing.
I can't really, like, it's like a fractured memory. So.
Yeah.
This body's so good, so warm.
You like it so much. It's actually really cool when they describe
Didn't they get him to go in the body to communicate?
No, they were able to communicate before
But like
that.
more effectively. It's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
like, hey, like we're here, and then the other one's like,
They don't really describe exactly
Yeah.
how it happens.
Okay.
Like, Who
Yeah,
knows?
you could think up a couple different reasons that would all work
like
for
and
it.
and even when like I was reading like the whole like War of Secession, like I found a couple different ways that it all happened. Like there's a couple different ways that it all goes about and how the Necron, and I'm not even talking like the old lore and the new lore.
Yeah.
Like because it's
described in
so
multiple
it's so
ways.
old and no one truly remembers what happens. And like there was a couple different ways. Whereas like,
Cesarek would know what happened.
but even Cesarek, like sorry to derail right away, but like the Necrontyr are so short lived that he should not be alive during the first meeting of the C'tan. Because there's
I
not
think
enough time.
But they did have,
Perspective,
they did.
perspective needs to be adjusted because the old ones were effectively immortal,
Yes.
right? And if you compare the lifespan of anything to immortality,
No,
that is very short. But you don't know. You don't know if it's a 20-year lifespan or if it's a 600-year lifespan.
I thought they
right?
said it was.
I don't
like-
ever remember reading. I don't ever think
A
they
hard
gave it a
number.
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
like, I agree with you on that note.
Also, they did
don't-
have stasis technology, so I mean, in theory,
Well, the Silent King was a ruling member of the Triarch, so I don't really think there's room for him to go into stasis for a
maybe he
very
goes
long
for
time.
long naps in between.
I don't
he
know.
has a ruling and then he goes.
Either way, he was there
Yeah.
in the story.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the way that
Wasn't. He couldn't have been. It's impossible. The numbers don't add up.
Mark has like a picture chart with like strings attached everywhere.
he's got like an abacus, and he's like, it doesn't work. So when they describe the C'tan moving from being its ethereal self into the living body, they say that streams of electromagnetic energy like traveled across space and across a bridge of starlight to enter this body, and it's this entire being who is able to surround a star, right? That's how big he is, and he's
Condenses.
condensing everything he is into this living metal body. And the reason living metal is important is because it is metal that is created with a bunch of nanotech, I think is the best way to describe it. But it's on such an infinitesimal, smaller scale. Like this metal is like self-repairable and maneuverable.
Yeah,
like
you
a
can
liquid.
mold it to certain shapes.
Yeah, so these guys, once they're in these bodies, like they created a body that they felt most
he rubbed himself pretty good. With that.
they created a body for themselves that either represented themselves or was the image they wanted to present out. So now they have C'tan who are actually in their physical forms.
Yeah.
And now they can effectively communicate. Now they can really show off their ability that, they've been eating energy for millions and millions of years. They've got all built up and they can manipulate reality pretty much to however they want because of this energy.
Yeah.
And the important thing to note, I guess, is that it has nothing to do with a warp at all.
Yeah, it's all material.
Yeah, it's all just energy of
Yeah.
the natural universe.
Yeah. And so the Necrontyr start worshiping them, but they also will petition them to help in the war against the old ones.
Yeah, so the war in heaven has been going on this entire time. You could say, even
Eric said, like they were fighting, and then the Necrontyr got fought back to the planet. But now the Necrontyr hate the old ones, and are like, well, let's go fight them again. And now with the power of the C'tan.
Yeah, but not only that. At this point, like a bunch of C'tan, like as soon as one comes, it was the first guy. His name was Azagorod, and he was the Nightbringer.
Yeah.
But as soon as he comes, now all the other C'tan, he's able to communicate with them, and he's getting everyone here. And so slowly, all these C'tan are being given living bodies.
Yeah.
And then there's one called the Deceiver, and he even goes to Cesarek, and he spins this tale of like, oh, me and the other C'tan, before you guys were even born, we fought the old ones, and we don't like them, and like, let us help you. Let us, be your weapon that you need to finally beat them. So these C'tan now join forces with the Necrontyr, and then it just turns into a bloodbath because nothing can withstand the power of these gods, right? Like they're worshipped as star god and vampires. Like they can manipulate material reality. There's no danger of the warp with them. So
No, they
it's
have
just-
warp weakness.
No. I'm saying
Like
they have. So when a psyker uses the warp, there's
Yeah.
the danger that he's taken
yes,
by
yes,
this.
yes.
They can just have power with no
Yeah.
regard. For
Right, there's no
yeah,
consequences at all to them using this, other than the fact that they're ripping apart reality.
Yeah.
and pissing off the old ones.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So this changes the course of the War in Heaven completely. With this new power on the Necrontyr side, like, they dominate the galaxy.
Yeah, so the War in Heaven too, like, goes back and forth a couple times, because at this point now it's swinging in favor of the Necrontyr and the C'tan.
Yeah.
But then the old ones start seeing the galaxy and doing that whole thing. And I know we didn't write this in our notes, but I forgot. But like then they start like creating all these psychic like races or whatever.
Yes, it's only at this point
Yeah.
when the old ones feel their backs pushed against the wall.
Yeah.
This is where they start creating races that are affecting the warp heavily.
Yeah, like the Eldar.
Yes.
So then it flips back into favor of the old ones and the Eldar and stuff.
Yeah, so now, yes, you're right. And now the Necrontyr
It goes
are
back
pushed
and forth
back.
a bunch.
So now the Necrontyr and the C'tan are like, well, we need a way to win again.
Yeah.
And then the Deceiver once again goes
Like, hey guys.
Yeah, hey, Cesaric.
Yeah.
Are you here, buddy? So he goes to the Triarch again, who are the ruling three Necrontyr, and he's like, look, everything that we've done for you is great, but he's like, I can give you one more great thing.
Yeah, your frail bodies are keeping us back. I know how to fix that.
Exactly. He's like, I can take away your weaknesses. I can take away your short lives. I can make you true masters of everything in this universe. And
Yeah.
Cesaric is like, oh my gosh, like that sounds like a great deal. Like,
Yeah.
free us from the bondage of like our weak flesh.
Yeah.
Right? So after this happens, it's really cool. It's described that the Necrontyr artificers like toil for like days and days and days on end building
Oh,
these.
for days.
It's probably like
so tough.
years, really.
There
But
you go.
building these massive furnaces.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the deal that the Deceiver made with Cesaric, is that he'll destroy your physical form and transfer your consciousness into a body that can never die.
Yeah.
So Cesaric, the thing is, Cesaric none of the Necron really knew the end cost of what this would be.
No.
And that's kind of like where the big FU came in the very end.
Yeah.
But this biofurnace is really cool. It's described that they ran for days and nights on end as the entire Necrontyr race is like shuffled through these roaring furnaces, and then as their souls would leave, the C'tan are actually above the furnaces, swooping down and eating and consuming the souls of the Necrontyr.
And this is really where the Deceiver's full plan comes into view, because during the War in Heaven, the C'tan go out into the galaxy and they start fighting with the Necrontyr like side by side against the old ones, and the C'tan end up feeding on the souls of the dead.
Yeah,
and that's where
they
they
learn
like,
how
they
delicious
like
it is.
yeah. So then the Deceiver comes up with, this is where he unveils his whole plot, where he really just wanted to eat the entire Necrontyr race.
And gain an army of people who
Yeah.
can harvest the galaxy for him.
Exactly.
I mean, are they so bad? You get hungry, you eat cows. I mean, to cows, you look like a
delicious.
genocidal
I am.
star god. And
Yeah, not just even to cows, chickens, pigs.
All of
like
them.
why stop at one farmyard animal, right?
I will drink the oceans dry.
Nah, I'm not really a fish guy.
But yeah, so these C'tan now, everything is...
Yeah, they're feasting on the souls of the Necrontyr from the furnace, and like you
Yeah.
said, yeah, they're flying down and like gobbling it up.
Is the War in Heaven
It
still
really
going
is
on
hell.
at this
Yep.
time?
Yes,
Yeah.
the War in Heaven is still happening. This is like the ultimate apocalypse for the Necrontyr.
Yeah.
As of this point, even like you could say their race is ended.
Yeah.
And they now become the Necron, all thanks to the Deceiver.
Yeah.
And now, so
Never
you
should have
have
trusted
these...
that guy. I'm just saying.
Not like he was called the Deceiver. Or
I think now he gets his name, you goofballs.
no,
you
I
silly,
know, I
silly
get it.
men.
That's not true at all. He was called that from the beginning. It said even the other C'tan knew of his willful and trickful nature. So that's why I think, and this is where I think that...
Then why would you that?
because I don't think
If that's his reputation.
I don't
Yeah.
think that the Necrontyr knew that.
Yeah.
Was it just lost in translation or something?
Well, why would you tell? Why would you tell them?
Yeah, like
doesn't make
I don't
sense.
know why, but
Yeah.
it does make me think that even before they were in their living metal bodies, that the C'tan knew each other and knew like
They
each
still had
other's
like personalities almost, like they
Kind
still had
of.
like stuff to
right.
them.
Like they,
Yeah.
it's because when they became living, they each chose like a way to represent themselves. Like I don't think it was random. I think it was just who they were, and so now it's just given physical manifestation.
Yeah.
So I do think that they had something before.
Yeah.
Okay. So, once the Necron are created by the C'tan now unleash their undead armies back upon the galaxy and the old ones and all the young races. And at that point, the war is pretty much won.
Yeah.
Or we
Sure.
end the war in heaven, unless is there another counteroffensive by the
No,
not really, that's it.
The other thing that really helps the Necrontyr or the Necron and C'tan is they set up a bunch of Blackstone pylons across the galaxy.
because it negates warp energy.
Yeah.
And the warp was the one thing that was hurting the C'tan.
It's the one thing that the C'tan could not counter because they have no control over
the Immaterium.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So they were completely defenseless.
And
to
on that
it.
note, too, the Eldar describe the god Val in their pantheon, who's the smith god. He has what they call the talismans of Val, which are actually the Blackstone fortresses. So they're created, I'm guessing, as a weapon against the C'tan as well. And they'll play a bigger role like in the future.
Oh, I guess because those Blackstone fortresses could just as easily boost up the power of warp, of chaos, of psychic energy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They go both ways.
Yeah, so they're used as weapons against the C'tan.
Yeah.
So at this time, like, these things are very old and very powerful weapons, and then they're scattered throughout the galaxy, all the way up until 40K. Even.
Right.
They make a reappearance, but I just want to throw that out there. Is that's
Where they originate from
Yeah.
was the Eldar pantheon.
Yeah, creating them. So, like, how that's interpreted, like, are the old ones the Eldar gods? Who knows? It's out there in Eldar mythology.
Who
That's
knows?
all.
Sure. It happened so long ago that it's all turned to myth now.
Yeah.
All right. So the war in heaven is won. So much so that the Necron are actually fighting the old ones within the webway. They've breached the webway. They're fighting,
Which was always like the old ones, like one spot of safety. It's a one place where like they were able to just have complete mastery over.
Yeah, and at this point now, it's been breached.
Yeah.
And their bastions in there are being fought over. The C'tan are burning. Well, there's one specifically. He's burning the inside of
I think
it.
his name is the Burning One.
You would be correct, young master.
Yes.
We'll
Not
talk
very
about
creative
him
with their names, are they?
Well,
Infinite, powerful
it's
beings.
very,
and they just
very
pick the
singular.
First word that describes them.
So now they're fighting in the webway. The old ones have no recourse.
Yeah.
It's over. The war in heaven is won.
Yeah.
So after the war in heaven and the old ones are history, Cesaric does something he's most likely been planning for ever since the biotransference.
Yeah.
Because that's when it all hits him. He's like, oh my gosh, like what
made
have
a
I
mistake.
done?
Yeah, he's described as like standing over the biotransference and like watching his entire like kingdom get pushed into it.
Yeah.
and like
watching the C'tan eat the souls
Yeah.
of his subjects.
Yeah.
And that's when it hits
and come
him
out
fully.
the other side soulless robots. Yeah,
Exactly. So he's like, yes, I've like given my people immortality, but the
At what
cost was
cost?
way too great. So, I guess another thing about the Necrons is that they had command codes, and these command codes allowed
Oh, here we go with the command codes again.
they allowed Cesaric complete control over the Necron race.
Yeah.
So they had no ability to think on their own. They just did exactly what he told them. So at this point, after the war is won, the C'tan are gluttoning out on all the races that they've subjected to their will. Cesaric unleashes his plan.
Yeah.
And his plan is to turn the entire...
Cesaric the Deceiver? No, wait. What do you have to do to get that title?
You gotta do a lot.
Oh, okay. So this is not
You
worth.
pretty
okay,
much have to convince an entire race to give up their souls.
okay.
To you.
But
you.
but if you destroy the star gods, then you're not deceived.
No, you're the liberator.
Okay.
Cesaric the
no, okay.
Liberator.
It depends who writes the history.
Yes, I see.
So Cesaric gets the entire race of Necrons to turn on their captors,
The C'tan.
the C'tan, and they turn all their crazy weapons, which were described as unimaginable power because they're masters of the material universe, right? And they have so much crazy technology. They turn them on the C'tan, and there's so much energy that even the C'tan can't withstand it.
Plus, one of the big things about the C'tan too is that they're in the necrodermis, which the Necrontyr made for them. So they also know how to break the necrodermis and like fracture it.
Yes, they know how to if it has a weakness, they know it.
Exactly.
Right? They created it. So
they unleash all their weapons upon them.
But you can't kill a C'tan.
No.
Well,
They're too powerful. So
Well,
instead of being
You can
killed,
only kill one C'tan.
there's only one C'tan who's ever died.
so it can be done.
No.
It's
No.
just very
No,
difficult.
you
Not
can only
anymore.
kill one. You can't
Yeah.
kill two.
So once
only
the one
one.
is dead, there's no more than
That's
Yeah,
it.
then you can't
Everyone
kill
else is
anymore.
safe now.
Yeah.
So the C'tan are way too difficult to kill. They're pretty much like beings of they're pretty much energy and essence of the universe itself.
And as we all know, energy
Can neither be created nor destroyed.
Unless you're an electrician, I'll fucking destroy it.
I'll wreck your house.
I'll wreck your house.
So instead of dying, all these C'tan were split into thousands and thousands of tiny little shards of power.
Yeah.
And now these Necron have these shards, and they contain them inside their Tesseract vaults, and hold them so they can't do anything crazy.
Now these shards, though, they were scattered.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's just massive explosions.
Yeah, so they don't have all the shards.
No, of course
Yeah.
not. And the C'tan were all over the galaxy.
Yeah.
Right. So they were all on different worlds when Cesaric triggered his execute order 66, but really it was order 67 because it was the other way around.
Those poor C'tans. Betrayed by their own slave race.
So now the Necrons they collect these shards and they hold them inside their Tesseract vaults, and they use them as weapons.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, they just use to harness their energy.
Because the energy they carry is just immeasurable.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's my understanding that they are constantly having to repair those machines. They're in a constant state of destruction and repair.
Yeah.
Because they're so powerful and so hard to contain.
Yeah,
And
how do you contain it?
It's even so powerful too that the necrodermis itself doesn't contain it. So they even have at all times there's scarabs scuttling around the outside of it, fixing it. And I forget there's one other fixing bot.
Yeah, you can see it on the model if you look at the actual Tesseract vault. It's right above it, and it's got its tentacles weaving down.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they only use these weapons. They're so volatile that only in the worst scenarios,
Yeah, you'd only
It's not just,
you'd only do it in
casually.
a 2,000-point game.
that's how they measure it.
Yeah, no, you are correct.
Yeah.
This is the vaults are more for containment and weapons if we would have to, because they don't want to give the
C'tan
C'tan
power.
a chance to escape, right?
Yeah.
Because these are their overlords. They are the enslavers. They're the killer of their race.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure they would get the chance to wreak vengeance
Of
back
course,
on the,
yes.
on the Necron if they were freed.
So at the end of this civil uprising, it's just the Necron.
Nothing civil about that.
The Necron race is been down a lot of damage. It says millions of Necron are dead, but
That doesn't seem like a lot.
it doesn't seem like a lot when you're talking about the scale of the galaxy.
Yeah.
But the important thing is that all the Triarch except for Cesaric is dead, and that was the last Triarch to ever exist when it comes to the Necrontyr, because they didn't have any more after that point. So Cesaric then destroys the command codes. He leaves. Yada yada yada.
Yeah. Gives Necron back their freedom
Exactly.
as much as it can be.
Yeah. Well, they're free will.
Their free will. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, so now you have these beings of immeasurable power, and they're just playthings now, right? They are nothing more than just a weapon to be used and something to be held and contained.
Yeah. Exactly. Do the C'tan like that?
No, they do not.
But that's kind of that time frame in their history. Then all the Necron go to sleep.
Yeah, that's 60 million years in the past.
Yeah.
Everything that we've talked about.
Yeah. So then the Necron go to sleep and they wake back up in 40K. And when they wake back up in 40K...
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
Before you skip ahead that far. Quick little rewind. So the War in Heaven, I don't like the look of Judgment from you, Mark.
I'm just
just
wondering
waiting.
where you're
I'm
going.
waiting
Just
for you to say
waiting.
something really wrong.
Yeah,
That's all.
something
Has
that
it
was
ever
not
happened?
prepared for.
Yeah, I know. I'm going off script. Don't worry.
No, that's fine. Do what you need to do that makes you feel good. Just if it's a historical reference, I'll fucking kick you right now.
In 1099, no. No, but during the War in Heaven,
Yeah.
because of all, like, it created instability in the warp. It used to be a peaceful, passive place. It
When the old
shook
ones
things
started creating the lesser races.
Yeah.
Yes.
and like created the chaos in the warp that we know today. It actually forced out an enslaver. If you guys remember, did you ever talk about enslaver?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
the
already
Enslaver
did.
Plague.
Like, does that affect the C'tan in any way, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So because the enslavers moved in a massive migration out of the warp, they moved into the material realm and started destroying sentient life. I'm looking at the page right here if you want to read it.
No, I believe you.
Okay,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
So that's why they go to sleep.
And that's why the C'tan
Yeah.
go to sleep, because
Yeah.
their source
No,
of food,
hold on. First of all, the C'tan don't go to sleep. The
The
Necron, do.
Necron go to sleep.
And the Necron goes to sleep.
It could be old lore. I'm
That's
not sure.
That's definitely old lore because
Yeah.
originally
It describes
they went
both
to sleep.
as going to sleep.
They went to sleep because they emptied the galaxy of
Yeah.
life because the enslaver plague like wiped out life. So they were like, we'll go to sleep and we'll wake up after life has repopulated and we can harvest again. That's old lore. New lore is just that Cesaric put everyone to sleep. That's it.
They say why?
No. He just like he
Enslavers
killed the
did it.
command codes and he put everyone to sleep and he set a date for like right now to reawaken. And
Odd
now
way to
they're
do
all
things.
awakening.
They just want to reconquer the galaxy.
Yeah, like he just wants like galactic supremacy.
Okay, well then take it with a grain of salt, but that's out there.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
all. That's all I wanted to say.
Sure. You do you.
That's your one contribution for the episode.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm leaving. Now.
No, it's yeah. We did mention that when we did our War in Heaven episode. We did the whole like enslaver and
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's one of the causes, or was one of the causes, unless
Yeah.
it's been overwritten.
who knows.
Yeah, I didn't mention it because I didn't want to.
Too big of a
so-
can of worms to open.
It is.
But then we're
While it's open, you can't put them back in.
Oh, watch me.
Everyone knows you can't
Gotta-
put worms in a can. It's impossible.
Let's skip ahead then to 40K.
Yeah. So what's important?
wait. One more thing. I'm just kidding. Keep going.
The important thing is that the Necron are slowly reawakening across the galaxy, and with it, they are bringing their machines to life again. Their Tesseract vaults, their shards, their transcendent C'tan are being brought into play against their enemies, and that's the important thing now.
Yeah.
Is that everything is reawakening.
Yeah. So there's two types of shards that like the enemies of the the enemies of the Necron have encountered. And shards, like we said, are just like shards of C'tan. So they've encountered the Deceiver and the Nightbringer.
The interesting thing to note about these
Yeah.
is that even though they are a shard, they are a large enough piece of the
Yeah.
original to retain their identity.
Yeah.
Even enough so that they even have the same appearance.
Manifestation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right? Of the original.
Yeah.
So their power is not even it's not even comparable.
fraction.
Yeah.
But they actually retain enough of their personality
Yeah.
to be considered a reflection of
Yeah.
what they once were.
And then the other thing you mentioned was Transcendent C'tan.
yes.
Which are a bunch of shards crammed together to create a
Just a being of
yeah.
energy.
yeah, just a powerful being. Like I don't think these ones have like any type of personality.
I think
really.
because
Like,
sometimes, and usually they just combine different shards.
Yes,
Exactly.
because you'll just find a tiny little shard of a C'tan.
Yeah.
What
which,
does it look like? Have you ever dug one up? Like, can you find one in your backyard?
yeah. I find
It
they're
looks like
often
an
in
infinity.
toilets.
It looks like an infinity
digging.
stone. That's what I think of. Just this like
Little
piece of
glowing rock.
energy.
Yeah.
Great. Now you ruined the movie Infinity Wars for me. Thanks, Eric.
There's only 6 shards in the entire galaxy.
Oh, now you've
They gotta get a
ruined it.
gauntlet, and they gotta put on.
Oh, great.
But then if you snap your fingers, galaxy is ripped in half.
Shh. No spoilers.
What? That's not a spoiler. Everyone knows what Thanos wants to do.
I just wanted to have a good time.
Oh, he's having a good time.
Earth girls know how to party.
So yes, these transcendent C'tan, you're right, Mark, they have no personality because there's
Hmm.
too many different beings all smushed into one, and they're just it's just a massive energy.
That's my kind of place.
Oh, Gross.
Some say Mark is just a bunch of beings smashed into one.
No ruling personality.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of different ones.
Smaller entities.
But that's the representation of the C'tan that you would see today.
Yeah.
Is just you're either seeing a shard of the Nightbringer or a shard of the Deceiver, or you're seeing a transcendent C'tan.
Yeah.
Which has no.
It just looks like
personality.
energy, even like it's just. It's
You should go take a look at the model. If you
Yeah.
don't, if you don't have the picture in your head, take a look at the model.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Some good paint jobs, but also it's just it makes me think of like old school like Lego. For some reason, and I
Why?
have no idea why. There was like this old Lego that
Okay.
was like once you graduated from regular Lego, it was like Technic. Is that what it was called?
Sure.
I don't know, but it had like these really like neon green like bendy things that you'd like put together. That's what it makes me think of.
You're not playing with Lego, I don't think.
Maybe not.
Playing with moldy pasta.
Ew. Why is it fluorescent green?
Moldy.
Mark,
Moldy.
radiated from my nuclear reactor. That's what it's really from. All right. Well, now that we've gone over what the C'tan were, what happened to them, and where they are now,
Yeah.
let's go over a couple of the more famously known C'tan from way back in the day. Okay. So, the first C'tan ever to bridge the gap from energy to reality, his name was Azagorod, and he was the Nightbringer.
And he was actually the C'tan that fed on the Necrotyr's like sun.
Yes, he was
Yes.
in their own star system.
Yeah.
First contact, first body, this
Yeah.
guy. The leader of the C'tan, but not really. Because I don't think they had a leader.
No.
Just the first.
Just the first.
Um,
Real fun guy, I think.
No, not at all, actually, Mark. So this model...
It's all about perspective, Eric.
No!
Yeah, no,
it's
it is.
not.
Honestly,
He's not
it's
fun.
It's all about perspective.
Let me tell you why he is not a fun guy at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
If you were to look at this guy's model, he's like rising off the ground.
So far, that's good.
got
He's
a
using helium. I'm for it.
No, that's bad. We've got a crisis.
It's
Mark.
all about perspective.
But he carries a scythe and he has like a shrieking face. Now,
And he's covered in a shroud.
He is. Yeah, he's got like a robe all over him.
Oh,
Shadows
you know who
everywhere.
would like him?
Colin.
Oh, yeah.
Colin loves robes.
He would love him.
He's got a robe, Colin. Let's get him.
I fancy myself a robe man myself.
Bathrobes or
All robes.
all robes?
He's actually the oldest idea of death. And his personality is that he actually imprinted the idea that he is death upon all the lesser races. So when we think of death, we think of like a reaper,
Yeah,
right?
the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper. That's him. And he's the one who actually put that in
Our,
us. That fear of death is coming from him. Like he would like project like his personality.
Yeah, it's almost like embedded in a genetic memory of all life. that, like,
Exactly, because he terrorized like the galaxy so much that every single being just has this intrinsic fear of him, which
sounds
is
like a pretty big edgelord.
which
to
is
me.
so cool. I think that's so awesome.
The
So-
universe's first troll.
it's
Dear
not a
me.
troll. It's
Maybe
not
he was just
troll.
a bullied C'tan, and he's just like,
I hate you. I hate you.
Hi, guys.
No.
I want friends.
Honestly, like it's such a cool. He's one of the coolest things I've ever encountered in 40K.
Next two.
One of the coolest.
Yeah, so who is
Cooler.
he cool with?
The Emperor.
I like-
first
If
off.
you could host a tea party, Eric,
Yeah.
who would
Who
you
am I inviting?
Yeah, like
All
the
right,
Nightbringer.
The Nightbringer.
Yep.
Sigismund,
Okay.
That's not.
Eisenhorn,
Okay.
and probably just to mess things up, Zinch is going to be there.
Perfect. That's a wonderful tea party.
Right.
I'd go to that.
You're not invited.
You weren't on the list.
Did you,
Son
did,
of
you
a
hear, did you
bitch.
hear your name called at all? I don't know. Your invitation's in the mail. Okay. The next one, Mark, you want to take it?
The Deceiver. And his name is Mephiran.
All right. I should have just. It's Mephitran.
I was
Method Man?
Or
Method Man.
Mephitran, depending on what language you're speaking. I don't know.
and like we talked quite a bit about him. He's the Deceiver. He was the one in charge of biotransference. He was the one who tricked all the Necrontyr into going into the biofurnaces so he could feast on their souls.
That bastard.
That sneaky son of a whore.
I mean, again, I'm gonna go back to the ant analogy. Like,
It's all about
they're just
perspective.
cattle to them. It's
Oh yeah,
whatever.
no, they don't
It
care
sucks
about
for the Necron,
Yeah.
but a Necrontyr, but it's like, hey, it's a free meal.
No, exactly. That's like the thing is that, and he went to Cesaric and he's like, oh, I had this war against the old ones. I know how you feel. And
Yeah.
he's like, he played up that whole enmity against the old ones.
Yeah.
And like, that's how much he doesn't care about the Necrontyr. He's like, I'll manipulate you for a free meal. Like, why not?
Almost like
He's
Bach.
He's just like, the old ones, they're not the oldest. I'm the oldest. Why did they get it?
Yeah.
Why
Why
did
are they called the old ones?
You can trust me.
He's got this massive smiling
Yeah.
face on. Okay, the next one, and probably the other like really well known one.
Yeah.
Magladroth, so the Void Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
So this C'tan he's a master of machine manipulation. So any machine was like under his control completely. That was his like specialty in the material universe. I don't know how, but when I'm reading his description, it says that his soldiers were said to be pretty much invincible. And part of me is just like the armor he created for them was so good. Like the necrodermis that he helped create to them was just so good that nothing could kill them at all. That's all the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. He made the machines just that much better that they could hear even better, even faster. Who knows? Like,
Yeah, something we clearly don't understand.
Yeah. It's weird always to me that the C'tan have all these different types of powers. As we go through, you'll see some of the more exotic ones, but like, why would, like, it's weird for me to wrap my head around why would this C'tan be a master of machines, even though he's just like this energy being that has been feasting on stars.
It is an interesting thing, and yeah. Like, I think I can wrap my head around the fact that as soon as they entered into reality, so you remember how Christian was saying, like, you can't live, you can't feel.
Yeah.
But as soon as they are in reality, like, everything shifted for them.
Yeah.
And that's when that's when I don't know, that's when their representations are made more fierce. So then they get to find out like what they really like about living. And this guy loves machines.
Okay,
I mean, that's like,
so maybe all of them have equal powers like across the board. Like all of them could be the master of machines. It's just this guy, he's like, I like machines.
right.
Where
That's
the
my guess.
Nightbringer is like, I like death. And they each kind of took their own like thing that they liked.
It's a gimmick.
From life. Yeah, okay.
Right, like they found out what it was to. This is purely speculation.
Yeah.
Right, that they're realizing what life is, and then they're like, this is what I want to live for.
Yeah. Okay, I can accept that. That's helpful. Thank you, Eric. You've done well.
I got you, babe.
Ew.
Anyways,
Ew.
this, and we kind of scratched on him in our AdMech episode.
Yeah.
But this is the C'tan that's rumored to be on Mars.
Yeah.
How did he get there, guys?
Well, have to go back and listen to our previous episodes.
Yeah, on the AdMech, Christian. Duh. There's no way we're discussing that.
Have you
here.
not been listening, Christian?
Previously on Lorehammer.
I don't listen to this show. I'm just on it.
It's trash. Why would you listen to it?
I don't want to rot my brain.
Well, do you want to share how he got on Mars, Christian? And this is all speculation again, right? Like none of this is confirmed, or is this a Games Workshop confirmation?
No, there's been in the Horse Heresy they do like a flashback scene to it. So it happened. How it happened, we don't really know. But essentially, and here's another question too. It must have been just a fragment of the Void Dragon,
it's a
so
shard.
it wouldn't be the full god himself. Yeah.
It's a big enough shard though that it's retained its personality.
Yeah.
So like not unlike the Nightbringer.
Exactly.
But it ended up on Earth, and the Emperor in the medieval age of Earth.
In
A
the
time
the
where there
Middle
was
Age.
no technology.
Yeah.
No machines for him to rule.
Yeah. So maybe that's why he was weak. And so the Emperor defeated him and
Let's be honest.
supposedly took him to Mars.
He's a C'tan. He's not weak ever. But the
He
Emperor
is compared to the Emperor.
The Emperor is way more powerful. But at that point, had he been on Moloch?
No.
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 So he didn't have his full powers.
Maybe. We don't know how powerful the Emperor was.
That's
before.
true. We
Yeah.
don't. But yes, the Emperor, like, for some reason, the Void Dragon was supposed to be on Earth. The Emperor beat the snot out of him and imprisoned him on Mars in preparation for the day when the Adeptus Mechanicus would be on Mars and building his war machines.
Yeah.
Or so it's said.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole big thing to it. None of it makes sense.
I mean, really, that's the essence. It's
Yeah.
just like, how much further do you need to speculate on
Yeah.
it? Like, what? Like, you're gonna find like a sentence in a book completely
very
unrelated,
cryptic
exactly.
sentence.
You'll be like, "This is the proof," and someone
Yeah.
else will be like, "That has nothing to do with what
Yeah,
we're talking
exactly.
about." So. But it is an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah.
It's just the Emperor's grand plan.
The other thing, too, and I'm questioning. Ferrus Manus, does he encounter C'tan? Isn't that how he gets
His iron hands.
Yeah. Is it a dragon that he fights that he submerges in the
It's
lava?
a worm, but aren't they all over his planet?
No.
No, and it's literally like living metal is what
Yeah.
gets transferred.
Yeah, I
onto
think
his
it's one of
hand.
those things where it's rumored, but I don't know if it was ever confirmed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess it's worth mentioning,
I
especially
always-
with the whole dragon.
Oh, okay.
thing.
No,
Yeah.
I always thought that when he did that, like it was a competition between him and the Emperor who could
You're
kill
thinking
the.
of Vulcan.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
You screwed up this time, Aaron.
All right, I'll whip myself tonight. 30 lashes for my heresy.
Can I do it?
No, it has to be self-flagellation.
Otherwise it's illegal.
Otherwise, it's abuse.
Otherwise, it's
Mark.
torture. Yes. But anyways, yeah, the Primarch ended up on his homeworld encountering a being, I guess described as a worm, and he submerges it in lava to kill it. We'll dive into it when we talk about him specifically.
Yeah.
But he holds him under the lava, submerging even his arms into the lava, and comes out with these metallic hands.
They're said to like repair, and he can like manipulate them into.
Yeah.
Very-
Machine.
I mean, it's definitely living metal.
Question.
And if like living metal isn't super so common that you'd find it in the middle of nowhere on a being,
Yeah.
right? So I
Pl-
could,
plus with the like Manus's whole machine, like he's very good at like making artifacts and construction.
yeah. So that definitely fits. Like if some of the personality of the Void Dragon transferred within the metal
Yeah.
on his hands, yeah, it's an interesting.
plausible.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
wanna
even
throw that out there.
believable,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
all right. The next one we're going to talk about is Saranoga, the Outsider.
My favorite.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know anything about him.
Oh.
Okay.
It
Well,
just sounds cool.
Oh, so you're making fun of other people for being edgelords, but now you're trying to be the edgelord?
no.
oh, guys, that one's so cool.
He's outside.
It's
Okay,
my
fine,
favorite.
fine.
Oh, tell me
if
about
I
it, Christian.
remember correctly, he is. I just don't have like
Knowledge.
You don't
story in
have
my
your
head.
notes in front. Our notes
No.
in front of you.
But he's the most powerful C'tan, I believe.
No.
Oh, Christian, you silly little boy.
If he wasn't so darn cute, eh?
Yeah.
What would he be good for?
Yeah. Kegarek actually tricked the Outsider into eating other C'tan, and then
So he's the most powerful.
eventually he went insane.
Yeah.
Mad cow disease. I'm sure you've heard of it.
I don't. I'm not saying I do or don't have it. But
It's mad C'tan disease. But yeah, no. Kegarek was tricked, or Kegarek tricked this guy into eating a bunch of other C'tan. He went on a delicious C'tan eating spree,
Yeah.
and then he eventually went batshit insane.
didn't he like absorb like their personalities and like talk to him in his mind?
I
And
believe
he just like
so as
wanders
well.
a galaxy.
Well, now he's been
Yeah,
sharded.
Was he?
No,
or
no,
is
he flees the galaxy.
Yeah,
He
he's still
flees.
complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
and-
he?
Yeah, he flees the galaxy.
So he is technically the most powerful C'tan only because he's the last one standing.
sure.
That would be the most powerful being in the
I believe there's something about. Okay, well we'll talk about it after. But go ahead.
Oh, just a side note for people who don't know who Kegarak is. He's just an Eldar deity.
Yeah.
He's like the laughing guard, the Harlequin,
And
the
if you need to
trickster.
know, you should listen to episode 25.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to episode 26 without listening to episode 25,
Apparently, some people I've heard they listen to 24, 25,
yeah.
13, 2,
7.
27, 1, 2, 3.
Are these people picking topics that they like?
I don't know.
How dumb is that?
I don't know. I don't really listen to people when they talk to me.
No, of course not. That would require attention and
And
focus.
thought.
And
Oh. All things I am incapable of.
Uncapable. That's impossible.
Lorehammer, the only podcast that encourages learning disabilities. All right. I didn't know that the outsider actually fled the galaxy.
Yeah, that's why they
Yeah.
call him the outsider, because he's like outside
Outside
the
the
galaxy.
galaxy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In theory, he could return.
Is there, foreseeing that potentially he comes
Fine,
back?
I'm jumping on it. I don't care. You baited me. I'm going for it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there might be some kind of prophecy that regards like a group of 4 C'tan, and I think he's described as one of them. It's almost like a 4 horsemen of the apocalypse type scenario.
Okay,
And
like
once-
and the end of days.
yeah, kind of
type deal?
I don't remember it, and
Well, you were reading it before the Banshee one.
no, that's a different one.
Oh,
and
really?
I think that's not lore anymore, so we'll talk about it later. But
Okay.
yeah,
So who made the prophecy then about
probably the
outsider?
Eldar, I'm gonna guess, because
They're one of the only ones that-
make prophecies and all that. But
with any kind of reliability?
yeah, but
Interesting.
I could be mistaken on
I-
that. Don't take my word for it.
If a C'tan were to come back, that would be a pretty cool.
I mean, if
stick in
getting
the
Primarchs
fire.
back,
They need to.
yeah.
No.
No, they just need to increase the power.
I
of
want
the
to see.
No,
I
no,
want to see Gollum go toe to toe with the C'tan.
Yeah. They just need
It
to
wouldn't
come out
even
with
be
more.
a contest.
Says you.
A full C'tan?
Maybe Gollum has some backup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait till you find out what a couple of these other C'tan are
So
capable
foolish,
of.
though.
I feel like no.
Have you never heard of plot armor? Eric, Reboot Gilliman died, but he didn't die. He came back. You cannot kill him.
Eric, now he has a suit where he just can't die.
Yeah,
Because it
exactly.
just protects him.
Doesn't matter.
Sometimes the suit attack, sometimes the
Sometimes it
suit
defend.
protect. But always live. Okay, because just wait till you find out what a couple of the other C'tan are capable of. So,
okay.
Nyadra Zatha. And this is the burning one.
Ah, I have the burning one.
How's that for a burning sensation, gonorrhea?
That's his Necron power. Okay, you're right. Gollum would lose to that.
Can't get inside of his armor to scratch it.
Yeah,
No.
drive him mad.
Cool.
All right, the burning one.
So he created living stone portals called the Delman Gates.
Dolmen Gates.
The Delman Gates?
The Dolmen Gates, Mark.
Which allowed the Necron to access the webway, and he was the one who like did the final push into the webway during the War in Heaven, and he was, fond of burning things, pyro.
Yeah, he's described as like always wanting to bring his flame
Yeah.
into the webway to burn it.
Yeah.
that was like the whole reason he did this. Like, I'm assuming it took him a long time to like build these things, and
Yeah.
like that was his goal.
Would you
Yeah.
describe his personality as flamboyant? Perhaps
More flaming.
Yeah, he's not a Harlequin. Yeah, so these Dolmen Gates,
Just gonna burn.
these Dolmen Gates are actually really unstable. And it,
Just the way I like it.
the webway is kind of like is conscious of this breach in its defenses, and it would
preach you, burn it.
and it would the webway would consciously fight against this breach. So the Necron had to be they had to be very quick in their access to the webway, because if they took
Quick axe. Yes.
okay, if they took too long in the Dolmen Gate,
Never too long. I'll wait. Yeah.
if they took too long in the Dolmen Gates,
You can spend all day in my gate. Okay, sorry, Eric.
you know
What's
what?
worse, this character or Primaris? Like me talking about Primaris or this?
No. Do you remember when I was doing the quote for Space
Oh, I
Marines?
remember.
And how you pissed me like right off? This is child's
It was
play.
my proudest moment.
This is child's play compared to how upset I was at that moment. Anyways, so if they took too long in the Dolmen Gate, the webway would just shut it off. So they're really unstable, really unpredictable, but at least gave you access to the webway. And then he burned it all down.
Perfect.
Perfect guy. Except he didn't burn it all down. It still exists. Anyways, okay. Next one. Iash Udra, the Endless Swarm.
Yeah. Apparently, he's hated by the Silent King even more so than all the other C'tan.
Yeah, this one,
Even more so than the
the
Deceiver.
Yeah, I don't know why. Not a lot. It's not fleshed out,
Yeah.
and that's the only.
The thing is, like, who knows? Maybe they mentioned this in one throwaway book that we've never read or even heard of. So if you've read that book,
what's the the fan theory about this person, Mark?
I
Because
don't know.
there is a tie-in with that.
Yeah, like there's apparently people think, oh, this guy's in charge of the Tyranids, and look at his name, it's the Endless Swarm.
And that's the
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
some
I've heard
dumb
that.
thing. It's
So
just like, why?
Here's
Yeah,
Everything's connected, Mark.
here's the only reason.
connected.
Here's the only reason why that I don't brush that off in the first second I hear it. Cesaric hates the Tyranids. And the only reason he's come back now to the galaxy is because of the Tyranid threat.
Yeah,
So there is like that
It's possible.
very weird and roundabout
Possibility.
connection between Cesaric and the Tyranids and potentially this C'tan.
Yeah.
But I would way
Like-
prefer it if this C'tan was not involved in the Tyranids
Yeah.
at all.
So-
I prefer to think
so-
of the Swarm as in like the Canoptics.
yeah. Just on the other note of the Tyranids and the Endless Swarm, so we know that the Tyranids were drawn to first. What was the first Horus Heresy thing that blew up? You know what I'm talking about.
Is
It was
that
in
like the
Ultramar.
lighthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah. The name is just escaping me right now.
Yeah. So they were first.
Pharaohs?
It was
The
a big,
Pharaohs,
it was
yes.
a
Yeah.
big psychic beacon.
Yeah. So
But
they.
you see,
they-
it's called the Pharaohs, and there's pharaohs that are
Oh,
Egyptians. but are
Pharaons.
also Necron.
Pharaons are the leaders of the...
It's all
the
connected.
Endless
It is described as it potentially being an ancient. It is an ancient alien construct.
yeah.
So I mean, did the Necron design it? Did the C'tan design it? Who knows?
Yeah. All I'm saying
So
though
it could be
is
connected.
the Tyranids were drawn to that. Then they're also drawn to the Astronomicon apparently. So the Endless Swarm might be able to put out like enough energy.
To draw them
Yeah. Like
or control them.
Yeah.
Or be the hive mind.
who knows?
Who knows? It's not confirmed.
Yeah.
But there are enough little tiny coincidences that if they were eventually to make that connection, you could effectively be like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. You just have to live in it. Mark.
No, I hate when things
Are all connected.
I hate when things are all connected.
It's the coincidence.
Or,
I hate
or
coincidence.
like
But it's not
yeah.
coincidence. When you're playing on the galactic level, nothing is coincidence.
Yeah. Nothing. I just hate when things aren't fully fleshed out. Like when they try to set it up to be a mystery,
Yeah.
but it's like it's not a well thought out mystery. I like a well thought out mystery, not like
What's wrong with that? It's not well thought out. There's enough connections to make it possible. But
Now-
also
now-
not enough
now there
connections to
might
make
be,
it
but-
true.
like
Well, that's how you set up mysteries, my friend.
I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me. Like it doesn't
Well,
make
I'm sorry
sense.
that Warhammer 40K was not made just for you.
Oh no, I like plenty of other things in it, but
Like Primaris Marines.
love Primaris
them.
Marines.
Do it. You can't even do it. You just stopped right
Come
there.
here, Primaris Marines.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. It's not my favorite, but
Yeah.
the connections are possible. That's all.
Yeah.
My second favorite C'tan of all time, Landu Gore, the Flayer. This is the only C'tan ever that was killed.
How was he killed?
I have no idea.
Nobody
I'm
knows.
assuming just enough energy was poured into him that he just completely was
Necron
annihilated.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the
Or
Necron.
antimatter.
It doesn't. It's not a real.
Or maybe
thing.
he was cast into the warp.
No, there was
Maybe.
one that is. I'll talk about him, but
Okay, cool.
yeah, no, he must have been destroyed by the C'tan because what he ended up doing. Eric, it's your favorite. Take it from here.
Yeah, he actually cursed the C'tan. So
I curse
no,
you.
He cursed.
I curse you, and I curse you.
He cursed the Necron, and he did something in their programming. He released what he called the Flayer virus.
Yep.
And now
Sounds delicious.
it's even more malicious than like the Destroyer sickness that takes over them. So what it does is it
Is
like
it worse than Y2K?
oh much more dangerous. You better get a lot of shelves for this one. Food shelves. If you don't know what I'm talking about.
Not
Some of
shelf
you are
armies.
too young to
many
understand
shelf armies should I
the
get?
terror
That Y2K
we felt
was.
at Y2K.
It was the unleashing of the Necron.
All right. 99 into zeros. Oh my god.
It's going to wreck everything.
The planes are all going to crash.
The nukes are gonna fire.
Oh my gosh, what a joke. Anyways,
Sometimes I look at intelligent people,
yeah.
and then I think, not that intelligent.
No.
So that's my story.
Yeah. Who are we talking about here? Oh, that person. We had to bleep it out because it was just so offensive.
Yeah.
Okay, so Landu Gore, what he's done is he's rewritten, like his virus rewrites your, like it overrides your personality and makes you hunger for flesh.
Yeah. Just like what the Flare had. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That insatiable hunger, like all C'tan have.
Yeah, so it like gives it to them. But what's crazy is when you're given the Flare virus, you actually eat the living people that you kill, and they describe like the blood and bones and like everything like moving through like your mechanical body and just like falling out the other side. If you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, the very first time you see Captain Barbossa become a skeleton and he like drinks the alcohol and it just flows through his body. That's what I pictured when I was like listening to the description of how the flares
Like if you
eat.
look at the models, even you can see just like gaps in their rib cage where they put stuff in their mouth and just falls out the bottom.
Yeah, but they
And they
also
just put it in their mouth again and just falls out. Again.
being flayed ones, they actually will like flay the person that they just killed, and they'll take their flesh and drape it over themselves.
So fashionable.
They're the most fashionable in the galaxy. That's what I should have told Peter. But yeah, it's such a cool thing. It's just the curse, and it's
Eric, flesh is murder.
not in 40K.
Not if you keep them alive.
There you go. So that's the answer. We just skin animals alive and wear their pelts.
The interesting thing to note about the flare virus is it is what's it called when it's
Bad.
no
Not good.
Well, yeah.
Dangerous.
No, you can catch it. It's catching.
Oh.
Contagious?
Contagious, infectious. Yes. If you're a regular Necron and you're next to a flayed one, you can catch the virus by being too close to them.
Is it airborne?
I've never heard how you catch it. All I do know
a pathologist.
is if a flayed one ever shows up, the other
everyone kinda stays
Necron,
away.
they will kill them.
Oh.
They will So if a flayed one shows up in the middle of a battle, because
Zombies
they're
fighting
drawn,
zombies.
they're drawn to like bloodshed, right?
Yeah.
So they show up. The Necrons won't do anything during the battle. They'll let it play out. But then after the battle is over, they will exterminate the flayed ones. But the flayed ones just seem to have this trick and ability always to slip into a pocket dimension,
When
as
they have their
Necron are
kingdom.
wont to do. No, they have an entire planet. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're led by a Necron who's not even affected by the flare virus. Anyways.
Tell us about the conversions you're going to do with them.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you actually came up with the idea, and it was really sweet.
I wasn't reaching for that, but thank you. I'm pretty good.
So
I'm pretty good.
I don't really I never really liked the idea of flayed ones being like participating in the army. But what Mark was saying is like, well, everyone is a flayed one, right?
Everyone can become one, yeah.
Yeah, it can affect anyone. So instead of buying like flayed ones and using their models, just taking like a Lich Guard, like building him as like a Lich Guard, but maybe not with his weapons, like on the base or something. But then just draping that model with flesh, as if he was a Lich Guard at one point, and now he's infected by the flare virus. So then you could have like a Lord, right? And you drape him with flesh, right? And now he was once a Lord, and now he's even affected by the thing. So
it's a way you could do very customizable things in a Necron army.
yeah, of course, especially because
conversions.
I think it'll be really cool.
You can drape all kinds of bodies on them.
Yeah, and I'm not like going to do that anytime soon because I'm still just building the army itself, and they're like my least favorite thing in the entire Necron army. So. Anyways,
Really? Less than destroyers?
yeah, I prefer the destroyer over the flayed one. I don't like the way the flayed ones act, like rule wise. Like destroyers, I like the way they act. I just don't like the model.
You're a rules first kind of guy, are ya?
Well,
He's a min-maxer.
the story first. The story of destroyers is cool. They fell victim to a madness.
Whoa. Save it for the Necron episode.
I mean,
We would have done one.
yeah. Anyways,
Did you mention it then?
Yes.
yes.
All
right.
I'll mention it again.
Well, in that case, that's Landu Gore the Flare. So let's talking about Ygrania, the Molder of Worlds. And this is why I think that Reboot wouldn't really stand a chance against the full-powered
Plot
C'tan.
armor.
So Ygrania, the Molder, could break apart entire planets and reshape them in a better shape or image.
I have heard Calgar with his mighty fist can also punch a planet in half
But
and rebuild it with those own two hands.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
But the planet
They're
it was on
Ultramarines.
was
Why are you talking about Romans? I'm talking about Ultramarines and Reboot.
Because
Space
Mark,
Romans.
have you ever heard of space?
No,
Romans?
no, they are different.
completely
There are
different?
no-
No relation
nothing.
whatsoever.
Clearly very separate. Look, put two side by side.
One
no
is blue,
similarity.
one is red. Look.
But yeah, like that was Ygranya's shtick. Was the ability to break apart planets and make them better.
So are there theoretically other shaped planets out there? Because all we've seen are round planets. So could she have made a flat Earth?
So
That's all I just want to say.
could absolutely.
Did? Absolutely. Are we on that platter?
For sure.
You better believe it.
Without a doubt, the evidence points to it.
Yes.
I've only
points
ever
to
seen
yes.
doctored photos. So.
Of the round Earth?
Yes,
Yes.
it's doctored. Yeah, it's not real. Like, who are you gonna trust? NASA? Okay.
Never a straight answer.
Yeah,
SpaceX.
yeah. Jeez, what a joke. Smart people. Okay.
The mold of worlds.
Yes.
Yes, powerful. Very powerful.
Not only that, but they were responsible for the creation of the world engine. What's the world engine?
So it was like that huge, like, planet-sized Necron ship that, like, was tearing apart the galaxy, and they sent, like, hundreds of fleets against it. It's that whole story where the Astral Knights, like, ram the ship with their ship, and they disgorge, and then they blow it up.
Yeah.
He made that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It kind of makes sense, the whole planet thing, too. That's
Yeah.
totally the flavor
Yeah.
that you get from them.
Yeah. But then he was trapped on Boris, the planet, not the world planet, but the planet that the world planet came from, essentially.
Okay.
He was trapped on that planet by an overlord, but eventually he was freed and then screwed over that planet for orbital bombardment. And that's how that planet was destroyed.
So he was trapped on Boris,
Yeah.
and then he eventually escaped and then got his vengeance upon Boris.
Yes. And that just shows, like, that when a C'tan gets free, they fuck over the Necron.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Violence begets violence.
Yeah.
When will we learn?
So that was one shard. Another shard apparently was encountered by the Ultramarines, by Cato Sicarius. And
Who single-handedly defeated him in an arm wrestle.
arm wrestle, yes. Left-handed, too.
Left-handed is weekend.
Yes, this weekend, yes.
But that's not the one that he was crude sexual with.
I don't know how or why Cato Sicarius had access to a vortex grenade.
What's a vortex grenade?
It's a grenade that rips a hole in the warp. But he did, because,
Space Marines.
why not?
Yeah.
And he threw it at this guy and threw it at the Molder of Worlds. What's his name?
Ygrannya?
Ygrannya. And, he got sucked into the warp. The shard got sucked into the warp.
Yeah, and most likely devoured in an instant.
Yeah, who knows?
Or
'cause-
tortured forever.
or
As is
just
befitting.
destroyed completely. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because they have no defense in the warp. so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, Ultramarines. You've proven your plot armor.
See? I told you. And that's just from a lowly captain.
That's just
let
from a
alone
lowly
Primarch.
captain.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. A shard.
Okay, to be fair, I'm totally kidding. I just want to throw that
Oh,
out there.
okay,
I don't
okay,
genuinely believe a Primarch could single-handedly.
And I don't genuinely believe
C'tan.
that I can build a nuclear reactor. A nuclear bomb, though.
I've done that.
Well within my capabilities.
You hear that, government?
So the next
All
one.
of a sudden, you start hearing like this, like whine on like the podcast.
Get
Someone's
swatted.
listening.
Yeah, lot. That's what a podcast's for, Eric.
What?
People are always listening. Yes.
They're not. This is just for my personal entertainment. The next one I have is Ogdriada, the Arisen,
Yep.
but there's nothing
Yep.
about Ogdriada.
Yep. So we can make up our own.
Okay, cool.
What has he arisen from? A long nap?
He arose. He arose on the third day.
Jesus? Space Jesus?
Ogdriada the Arisen. I don't know. I'm not really like nothing is really coming up immediately for me to create for this guy.
He was
Sounds like a girl's name, actually.
Ogdriada. I mean, they can pick whatever form they want.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
believe they have genders.
Maybe they have a million genders. Who knows?
I mean, there's
Maybe
50.
they just have
Aren't there
one.
like 52 or something?
No. For humanity,
There
Yeah,
are
for
no
50
human,
52.
there is only two.
There's 52.
No. You're adding a 5 when you're just supposed to have 2.
times.
No, well, actually, okay.
26.
I've kicked my brother in the nuts really hard. There might be a third gender.
I've created a new gender.
It's possible.
I am a madman.
We were young. He turned off my video game console. I kicked him in the nuts.
That poor soul.
He's never had a girlfriend since.
No, that poor man or person. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's really coming to mind after the Arisen.
He was the first one to be Rosen.
Okay, that's
After-
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
What? And the Molder of Worlds is not a good name. The Deceiver.
That's
Is that
a great name.
You get everything you need right on the tin.
Okay. Next one.
All right, the Crimson God.
Yeah, and he didn't have a Necrontyr name or
No.
but he's called this because he was captured by the Crimson King. So
A Necron Overlord.
yeah,
So he lost his name.
yeah.
Now he's
So,
just got his slave name.
yeah, but he's still called a god where
Call
the
me by my
Overlord is called
slave
King.
Yeah.
Snowball.
Are you guys racisming over there?
No, it's
Racism.
so like
Racisming.
whenever
you
like
commit a racist act. You're racisming.
so
Like it's a hobby.
when I would play like World of Warcraft, right, and like you call it like you're talking on voice chat, and like people know your name. So my name was like Bjarn.
Oh.
That was like my name that everyone called me because that was my character's name. But after a while, like you make friends with these people and they find out your real name. But whenever
Your true name.
right,
And then they have power
your
over
true
you.
name.
They
But
can summon you.
one of my favorite things to do was like if we were in like the group setting with everyone and they would say my true name, I would be like, how dare you call me by my slave name? I only answer to my real name, Bjarn, defender of Azeroth.
And you were a sad little boy growing up, or what?
Very, very sad.
We'll have an episode where we read
Another-
Eric's journals from the
It's
time.
a bonus episode. Okay, and the very, very last one that we are going to talk about is Emberesh, the Sun Eater. I wonder how he got that name. No idea.
None
None
whatsoever.
here. Oh. This guy was held captive and used as a weapon against the enemies of the Zonthar dynasty.
Oh, fancy. The Zontharians.
Zonthar. Sounds like something from Futurama.
Why that?
I don't know. That's just where my mind went. Just like, what's the captain's name? Like the Brannigan or something?
Zap Brannigan.
Yeah, Zap Brannigan here to destroy the Zonthars. That's where my mind went.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. And that's the ones we want to talk about. So let's go right into powers and abilities and weaknesses of the C'tan. So all the different powers that like are listed on like the Lexicanum or the Wikia, they actually come straight from the Codex.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
There's like that direct representation within it. So I'm going to go really quickly over these. These are the powers that are represented by a shard. So either of the Deceiver or of the Nightbringer himself. So his entropic touch, metal decays on contact with the C'tan shard's rotten grasp, the gaze of death, the eyes blaze with a dark energy. The C'tan shard drains the life from all in the vicinity. That one's actually a really cool thing to do. He does it while he's in close combat. The Grand Illusion. The C'tan Shad weaves a glamour of deception, preventing the foe from seeing the true disposition of the Necron forces. This allows you to like deep strike way behind enemy lines. It's like one of the biggest and like best gimmicks of the Necron army.
Yeah, I love the Grand Illusion.
You can't even see me. The Lord of Fire. The C'tan Shard that wields this ability can become a creature of living flame, able to command the fires wielded by the enemy. So it just means,
firebender.
yeah, it really means like anyone who's using like flame stuff close to the C'tan Shard like has a chance for their stuff to like explode in their hands. The Molder of Worlds. Tortured rock buckles and heaves, showering the C'tan Shard's foes with boulders.
Earthbender.
Yeah,
Remember that time I said like elemental Necron armies?
I never really liked it.
Well, it's
The only
there.
bender I want to go on.
Pyre Shards. The shard conjures specks of blazing black matter and directs them against its foes. Sentient Singularity. The shard's presence destabilizes all local gravitational forces, disrupting engines, teleport beams, and warp jumps. That's one of my favorite. It just has a really cool flair and flavor to it. Swarm of spirit dust. A cloud of swirling darkness conceals the shard from the gaze of its foes.
I just see him
heard
as
of a
throwing
smoke
sand.
grenade?
Sand in your eyes.
Right.
C'tan power. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's all powerful being, and he just like picks up that.
C'tan! Use swarm of spirit dust! The enemy's accuracy fell.
Pocket sand.
Time's arrow. Mutating the flow of causation and remolding the temporal stream of the space-time continuum. The shard casts its foe back into the darkness from before time was time. I really like this one. It's like
Seems OP.
It's a once per battle use, and the cool thing is you can target characters with it.
Yeah, just
And
send
it just-
them back into the abyss.
Yeah, it just deals mortal wounds or something.
Send them
so-
before they were born.
I think that's pretty sweet.
But then there'd be 2 of them.
no, what?
No.
Because the
Because
other one
then-
would die,
Or you just wouldn't exist.
or you would
Just
never even.
erased from existence.
His
you
his
can do
thread has been plucked from the skein. All right, trans-dimensional thunderbolt. The shard.
Because regular lightning wasn't good enough.
It's not.
It has to be
The
trans-dimensional.
shard projects a bolt of crackling trans-dimensional energy from its outstretched palm. Writhing worldscape. The natural world revolts at the C'tan shard's presence, the very ground writhing and shaking as the physical laws of reality are undone. It's another really C'tan flavored one. Okay, and those are specifically for shards that have retained their personality. You can even get the different flavors of the different ones we mentioned in there. The next ones, these are all for transcendent C'tans. So see, these are the ones whose shards have been merged together and they are no longer a single entity. It's just a bunch of different energies competing. So, really quickly, Storm of Heavenly Fire. The Transcendent unleashes a rain of fire from the heavens, which explodes with a cataclysmic blast upon the battlefield. This power is extremely effective at destroying enemy tanks and armored vehicles.
And morale.
All of these is going to break your morale. I don't really know
Our
how to.
tanks just exploded.
I don't really know how to say this one. Transliminal. Transliminal.
No, transliminal.
Holy crap. I think Mark's right.
Transliminal stride. Using its ability to manipulate the space-time continuum.
I learned.
God now!
I learned to read.
I want to learn! Using its ability to manipulate the space-time continuum and extra-dimensional abilities, the Transcendent can move across the battlefield to a predetermined point, simply phasing through all obstacles or opponents in its path. Just bending reality. It's always fun.
That was a good time.
Seismic shockwave. When the Transcendent slams its necrodermis-clad foot down, it unleashes a seismic shockwave that causes the very ground to shake, blasting armored vehicles and infantry alike into the air like unfortunate toys.
That's funny that they put that.
Like toys?
Almost like little plastic soldiers.
Right. Antimatter meteor. The Transcendent
One of those ones where a regular meteor is not
Again, it's not
Not
enough. Yeah. The Transcendent is able to unleash a huge meteor composed of antimatter upon the battlefield, a furious assault from the sky that will annihilate all normal matter within range. Cosmic fire. The Transcendent unleashes a wave of fire hotter than the interior of some suns upon the battlefield, incinerating everything in its path.
Unless you got a 2+ save.
Yeah, well,
And then you're okay.
naturally. Seismic assault. The Transcendent causes rumbling earthquakes with a flick of its hand, crushing enemy units to pulp. Sky of falling stars. A rain of blazing meteorites falls from the sky to impact the foe at the whim of the Transcendent. Transdimensional maelstrom. As if a regular maelstrom weren't enough.
No.
He uses
Opening
its...
up a giant warp rift.
A regular warp rift as opposed to your trans-dimensional warp rift.
Yeah,
You're taking warp rifts from other dimensions.
right, exactly. Because they can't touch
Doing it
these
again.
warp rifts.
Ouch.
They use their command of transdimensional energies to unleash a swirling extra-dimensional vortex upon the battlefield that can banish all it touches to an alternate reality.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
They
You could write a whole short story about a guy who gets just like warped into a upside down world, and he's like,
the upside down.
"Oh no, everything is backwards."
The wave of withering. The Transcendent C'tan can cause metal and flesh alike to wither at its command. Whew. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
You did it.
That was a lot of reading. I have a headache now.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Right now, yeah, I need one.
But yeah, as you can tell, like even in their sharded or transcendent form, like they're super powerful. Like
Yeah.
Manipulators of reality.
yeah.
I'm just gonna go back on something I said earlier in the episode
About
about Ferris Manus.
Yeah.
It may have just been a regular Necron construct. That's all.
Was he
I don't
doing
know
some
if it
reading?
would have been.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It
just-
seems like a. I did a little bit of reading. Could also
the
could be a
thing-
C'tan shard.
Yeah, like depending on how powerful the C'tan shard was or
Yeah.
how big it was.
Yeah, because you can have a shard that's like nothing, and
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
can have a shard that's almost enough to have personality.
Yeah.
So
all.
they're varying levels. Were you doing some reading, and that's why?
Yeah, I stopped paying attention to everything you were saying.
That's fine. I can do it all over again. All
Yeah,
right, so
start from the
starting
beginning. I missed starting from transcendental lightning.
Transcendent.
You know, it's probably a
lightning.
real thing, even though it sounds like you made it up. All right. Theories, sightings, speculations, ramblings. What are some things that we did not talk about C'tan that you would like to share?
There's a cool board game called Settlers of C'tan.
And
No relation.
I don't know.
No relation whatsoever.
No relation. I heard you can collect things like wood
and sheep.
and stone, gold even. Oh yeah, I like that one. Save that one for later.
Yeah. The big thing for me always when it comes to C'tan is I said it earlier in our episode. What did I say?
Lots of words, Mark. I don't
No.
keep track of. I mean,
What was-
I suppose I
what was
could go
my-
back and listen.
What was my gripe that I had? I
Which one? There are many.
No, I only had one this episode. I just don't quite get the C'tan and like why they are the way they are.
Oh,
like
was
their
it the whole
personality
Yeah,
thing?
exactly.
Like I just don't quite get that.
What do you mean?
Like
Why is the
is-
Nightbringer the Nightbringer? Why is the Void Dragon Master of Machines?
Yeah.
Why is Yggdranya the Molder of Worlds?
Yeah, but you answered my question pretty well, and that was really my only thing that like always hung me up with the Necron or the C'tan and like why they are the way they are. But yeah,
Who hurt you? Who made you this way, Nightbringer?
Nothing. I just like killing.
yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
But it comes down to, like you said, it could just be like that's what they enjoy doing the most. Like all of them have equal powers. It's just they chose different things of what they like. So
You could even say that they have
Like
different
theoretically,
powers.
you and Eric are on the same level, but one of
We're
you
not.
has
No,
dedicated
I am-
your life to.
he is an intellectual, where I am how you say a ladies' man.
Oh. What if I want to be a ladies' man?
I can't.
Yeah, like when it comes to the C'tan, what part interests me way more is the past. It's the history. I don't really care for the current place where they are shards, like their Pokemon.
Yeah,
Collect them.
Yeah,
capture them,
really.
Put them in your stasis. What are they called? The
Tesseract.
The Tesseract
Tesseract
vaults.
vaults.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't really like that. It is cool, but I also just preferred it when they were like merciless overlords commanding their armies of undead.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to say in the old lore compared to the new lore, it was actually the C'tan that were in charge of the Necron and not slaves to the Necron.
Yeah, we did do a whole
Little
topic,
bit.
half-hour conversation about that back in the day. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just a kind of
That's
refresh.
definitely my preference for the C'tan, just because I love these beings of like so much power that aren't human or Eldar.
so there would be an easy way though to get that old lore basically to fit with the new lore. You just say like you have like the biggest shard that just has like taken power from the Necron around it and turned them into slaves essentially.
Yes,
Like, it's
you
just-
definitely could do that. The only like I'd like to see. I wanted to see that representation on the table, but it will never be there again because it used
Yeah.
to be that like a shard like that C'tan was actually an HQ and he would lead your armies, but now it's just an elite.
I don't know if it ever was an HQ.
I'm fairly certain it was.
Might have been. Maybe.
Yeah. But now they're just like elites. You can still only take one, but they don't even fulfill an HQ role. And I'm like 99% sure. Obviously, I'm not 100% because that's impossible.
What?
I don't have a perfect memory.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I honestly don't like the Void Dragon being on Mars. I don't
Tell
like
me
the
why.
fact that he's a C'tan.
Tell me why.
Because it's too easy. Like, why was there a shard on Earth? Like, why wouldn't he have left? He
Yeah.
wasn't subjugating anyone. The whole purpose of C'tan...
There was no machines there.
Yeah,
even,
exactly. Like, what was he doing with his life? No one else knew that this guy was
Maybe
there.
he's too weak to get off the planet.
He's there. There was
But
nothing
strong enough to
about
leave
them.
the Mechanicum. Like
There was
just-
nothing
Well,
about
and
C'tan
dreams.
shards that is weak.
And maybe he's getting. Well, it depends how big the shard is, right? It could be like a little,
Big enough for the Emperor to have to fight him.
right? But that could be small and shard.
But all I'm saying is if it's not like this... from what my understanding is that it never said like, oh, the Emperor, like...
I didn't know it was under there.
Mark, it's called a penis. Put your pants back on. So there's nothing in there.
And that would just be an inside joke between the four of us. Everyone will be wondering.
Yeah.
Did Mark whip his penis out?
I didn't know what it was. Like every time like I hear about this, it's the fact that like the Emperor had to fight this guy. And if
Yeah.
it's like powerful enough that the Emperor had to fight him, this guy can leave. He can phase in and out of reality.
Maybe he was waiting for humans to get. Like maybe he was like.
Why
getting
wouldn't
in on
he just leave?
Because he's waiting for them to get good. He's like just waiting.
Why wouldn't
But
he
why?
like wouldn't it be
Because
better for
eventually he
him to
knows they're gonna-
wouldn't it be better for him to eat their souls?
Well, he's
or
waiting
subjugate
for
the
they have
race?
Technology, so he could.
But
eat
he's the
them.
master of technology. Like
He can
could
create technology.
Yeah.
He's
Maybe
literally
he was the reason why iron was developed into steel.
No, honestly, I don't like it.
Force behind
Yeah,
the
no,
industrial.
it
So like
doesn't make
here's
sense.
The thing. Here's the thing. You can rationalize it any which way, and Games Workshop is
except
pretty good.
right. Yeah,
And
you cannot.
obviously, like no matter what if they decide to like embellish upon this, then that's the way it is. But the way it is right now, I don't think it fits at all.
No,
like
it-
it would have been better if the Emperor stepped onto another planet that he was already like established on as like the god, and then beat him into submission there, and then took him to Mars.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Right? Like like maybe he was building something on the moon.
Yeah, and like it even goes like, so he beat this the Void Dragon during the Middle Ages. How the fuck did he get him to Mars then?
Right? He just teleported there.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. There could have been warp gates. That's the thing. Like deep in like. That's not that
Sure.
crazy. I know before I thought about that and I was like, that's kind of silly. But
Sure, like there
could have been warp gates between Earth
Well,
and Mars.
there
and, like,
is
he
a
steps through
webway
it.
gate on Earth, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
I mean,
like the Emperor,
doable,
the
but it's
Emperor
still-
already
it's not
was
the
like
worst
trying to
thing.
like harness like webway power, like
Well,
that's his whole grand project, like
it doesn't necessarily even have to be a webway gate.
just
Could
like a
have been,
different gate.
Yeah.
it's a Dolmer.
The Dolmer gate. I don't know. It does. You're right, Eric. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I know other people love the Void Dragon and the whole Mars thing. It just
I just don't like that the mech would all go crazy. I don't like how everything's connected. Why can't things just be left alone?
Yeah, why can't there just be a bunch of like separate
Yeah.
stories all in the story of the
my
galaxy?
gripe about it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not on the same page as you guys on that.
I just don't think it needed to come from Earth.
No.
At all. It's too much happening. Right? But that's my only thing with the C'tan. Other than that, I love him. I
Yeah.
love the story. I love the Nightbringer. He's the best. I just
cool
love
guy.
it. Like, there's just that one person who just so embodies death and fear that every single race's like thought of death comes from him.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
The galaxy, Christian.
All right.
All of it, all of it.
Connected.
So here's a fun thought too. The C'tan were born during the creation of the universe.
Yeah.
Other galaxies would have C'tan. Absolutely, they would.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering that too. If
Right.
they would be.
But wouldn't they be stuck in their energy form?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
would be. But
There's more
Eating
out
all the
there.
stars.
yeah,
Well, actually, that
You,
is.
you would think they would have come from outside of this galaxy if they were.
Why? You don't, like, there's vast expanses of nothing between galaxies. So it's like,
And
all
like-
my food is here. Why would I go there?
yeah, they would literally have to eat an entire galaxy of stars
But
before
like,
they would have to move.
yeah, I guess. But they existed before any other life in the galaxy
Yes.
existed, right?
Yes.
Which for one would be odd evolutionarily speaking, because there's no species that evolves in and of itself, like in a vacuum by itself, right? Like usually there's if one thing can evolve, that means a lot of other potential things could evolve.
Yes.
But like
Right.
the C'tan didn't evolve at all.
They
Like
were just born.
like when the creation of the universe happened.
It's literally
Oh,
just
okay.
a condensing of energy, like created consciousness.
Okay, so then that leads me to even believe more so that they could be outside of our
oh
galaxy.
yeah, absolutely. They absolutely would be. So
And
The-
then
the
they
question
control
is-
the Tyranids outside of the galaxy.
difference-
Oh my gosh, it's connected.
The difference is that the ones in our galaxy have been given bodies of living metal.
yeah.
Right.
So none of
They-
the other ones would.
Yes, they would just be stuck in their slow consciousness state.
Unless
How would you know that though? Like,
You don't.
yeah.
I don't. This is my
Who kno-
speculation.
Maybe there's similar
and
circumstances.
maybe
Exactly.
the C'tan of this galaxy can communicate with those C'tan, and they're like, "Hey, come over to this galaxy and help us out with these jerks." Who
You know what?
enslaved us."
Anything
you
is
would
possible.
you would almost think that the C'tan would be something the only common thing amongst all galaxies.
And
if they
orcs.
were no.
Technically, orcs were created by the old ones.
I know.
So.
No, I know that was a joke.
He's
Yeah.
just being a dickhead.
Tyranids.
Just being a dick.
Tyranids exist in
Or
other
extraterrestrial.
Maybe in other galaxies, but not in all
Extraterrestrial.
galaxies.
No, you're
I'm
right.
I'm thinking like the C'tan could hypothetically be in every if they're like synonymous almost with the creation of,
yeah.
of the universe.
Yeah.
They could hypothetically
Yeah.
be in every single galaxy.
Absolutely.
So road trip to another galaxy.
Road
Who's
trip,
in?
boys.
Next week.
Yeah, I don't know. I really I don't have much else to say.
On
about
that
them.
note, also,
Oh, sorry.
just the number of C'tan even in this galaxy. Do we know how many there are? Do
No.
we know how many
No.
are active? Right?
The
There
only
could be other ones still floating around the stars.
The names
that
are just who we know of.
Yes, exactly. It also could be that not all C'tan became physical.
right. Exactly. So
Right,
there could be
so-
other ones just still mentioned on stars. and, like,
Exactly,
some
yeah.
back water planet.
They're almost kind of like the Q in Star Trek, if you're aware of those.
Yeah, I can see.
I guess, but the Q sort of
Almost
exist
like
outside of
things.
time and space, but they existed along with like the creation of the universe.
Looks like they're an inspiration.
No.
I don't know if they're in an inspiration. but-
No,
There's lots of stuff with like.
But the
they have more in common
C'tan
with, like,
the C'tan are
Lovecraftian
different.
horrors, yeah.
They're different in that like they don't have like a personality or in
Yeah, they're
until they get their
Energy
living
cloud.
form.
until their living form.
they
But
don't really-
in their like original form, they're just sort of like
It's just instinct.
they're just feeders. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just go and feed. So, anyways,
cool. Anything else anyone wanted to share about the C'tan? The old star vampires?
We should have just been calling them the Ingir this whole time.
What's that?
Solve the
Hey,
We're
do,
not-
C'tan
do you want to
debate.
read the Banshee prophecy
Yeah.
about
Sure.
C'tan? I think it's pretty cool. I like anything that's like quoted like that stuff. So
Okay, so just for a little context, and if anyone wants to look it up, it's called the Ishandrir.
okay, that's not going to help anyone, Christian. No one is phonetically
spelled
typing it in.
ZEW.
Yeah, exactly.
XLYRT. And it was set down by an Eldar Farseer thousands of years in the past. I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce that name, from the craft world Ulthwé. And so the reason I didn't bring it up before is it actually appears to be old canon. It comes from the book Dawn of War Ascension, which I believe would be predating the Necron Codex update.
Yep.
And it was also written by C.S. Gatto, so
Oh,
everything
boy.
he writes is
Multi-lasers.
but here we go. The Banshee's call shall wake the dead when the dark portents was nigh. Heed them as the counsel of a seer or a father. The Ingir, which is the Eldar word for C'tan, who have slept since the very birth of chaos, shall crawl once more from their tombs, thirsting for warmth. The war in heaven shall be as nothing to their vengeance, for the sons of Aziran, few in number, cannot stand against them, and the eye of Isha shall dim, closing for all eternity. Such a gentle goddess cannot witness the atrocities they will wreak. The soulless ones shall be the harbingers of the dark fate, and then shall come the living dead, the progeny, the thirsting ones, the forever damned, and the galaxy shall run red as the blood of Eldanesh.
I like it. I like all prophecies. I like all that stuff.
Yeah,
With
but like it sounds like a lot like the C'tan are still in control, and it's like they're waking up, and which was very much the old lore.
Yeah,
they're coming to reap the galaxy again, right?
Yeah, and that's where that thing definitely I don't think fits in today's
canon. No.
Yeah, canon.
But I mean,
either way, it's really cool.
Yeah, and if you take like theoretically, it could fit in if you think how like fate always changes, so it could have been a potential future they saw,
Right, exactly.
and they wrote it down, but
then they did their best to, maybe they claim that they helped manipulate Cesarek into doing the whole thing or whatever, because that's the whole purpose of Farseers, is to view the future and then do their best to manipulate it going forward. So. It's the Kronos, Mark. Kronos are just trying to change this. The Kronos are actually C'tan, sending people back in order to change it so they are no longer shards.
Wow. Wow, Eric. Wow.
Anyways, I think with that, we will bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Don't forget, message us on Facebook at Lorehammer. Send us an email, lorehammerpodcast@gmail.com. I'm on Twitter at Lorehammer40K. We have a Patreon where you can contribute and we'll send you stuff. Mark and I are drumming up a couple ideas for other paid things for releasing that we're going to do. Mm-hmm. We have a place where you can purchase Lorehammer swag. It's on Redbubble. You can find it on our Lorehammer page.
Somebody just sent us a picture before we did this.
Yeah, it was really cool. He just purchased a shirt and a travel mug.
Yeah.
And
nice.
it looks really cool, actually. It makes me want to buy stuff off of that website.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got to replace this Batman blanket with the big.
Yeah, we can buy like a just big poster of
That'd be
Lorehammer.
sweet.
Yeah.
You can buy even like a bed sheet or like a blanket, like
but
a
you have to
duvet.
pay for advertising space, though.
Well, yeah, of course.
I was
What do
thinking
you
of
think
getting
this is,
a
free-
Lorehammer just poster and putting it in a frame or something.
Yeah, they sell all that stuff on Redbubble. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Take a look at
it's
all
a sweet
of it.
site. Yeah.
We'll pin it to our Facebook page, so the link will be there for you. Once again, thank you for listening, guys. Always send us your questions. Just say hello. It makes it all worth it for us.
And if you ever wake up with that foul taste in your mouth, just curse his name. You know what it is.
Christian.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Peace out.